If you missed it, The Onion published an article that weirdly sheds light on animal agriculture, but I don't think that they meant to do it, all while being weirdly insensitive. Let's check out what they did. So if you don't know The Onion, they're quite well known for making satirical articles. Their whole thing is irony, is satire. So to even criticize them can be seen as probably quite a weird thing because they're not being serious or anything like that. But they did shed light on a process that actually does happen. So the satire is kind of lost. Disturbing video shows Dunkin' hatchery workers tossing male donuts into industrial grinder. So if the title doesn't give you a gist of what's happening, they're basically saying Dunkin', as in Dunkin' Donuts, gets their donuts, who are in this case personified, and tosses them into an industrial grinder known as a macerator. We can read the article quickly. Shining a light on the unsettling realities behind the foods we eat, a disturbing video shot by undercover activists and posted on YouTube Thursday reportedly shows workers at a Dunkin' hatchery disposing of male donuts in an industrial grinder. When a donut hatches at one of Dunkin's production facilities, a professional donut sexer quickly separates the males from the females by squeezing out the donut's filling and checking its outturned anal vent for rudimentary male sex sprinkles, said Boston-based pastry welfare advocate Addie Tapper, explaining that because male donuts are too chewy for human consumption, they're discarded into the whirring braids of a machinery that, as the activist footage shows, instantly shreds the hatchlings into lifeless, doughy pulp. Dunkin' claims the process is painless and humane, but this video clearly shows a crueler missing the chute and dying a slow, agonizing death on the ground. While it's heartening to watch these activists secretly transport a handful of male donuts to a baked goods sanctuary in rural Vermont, millions more are dying barbaric deaths every day, all to satisfy America's insatiable demand for pastry. The video follows a government report last month that found stress among coolattas living in filthy, cramped conditions causes the frozen beverages to brutally slurp one another to death. What are they trying to do with this? I don't get it. Because with my research, I'm not American, and I think Dunkin' Donuts is basically fully American. It seems that one of the ingredients that is in the donuts is egg. Now, if that is actually the case, and I have got this right, they're not actually off the mark. This isn't actually satire, because one of their ingredients means that animals, actual animals, not personified donuts, were thrown into a macerator because they were male. They are genuinely sexed to see whether or not they're male or female, because only female chickens lay eggs. And if they're male, then they are killed in this exact way. I want to know the mindset of the person who wrote this. I don't know if they were going about this thinking it would be quite funny, but they have to had known about the process that happens to chickens in order to make such an accurate depiction of reality. I just want to know the purpose, because obviously behind satire there is a purpose, there is a message that one can convey from it. It's a very artistic thing, satire. And behind the art there are indeed those messages. Is this a secret message about veganism? Is this trying to shed light on the fact that a company like Dunkin' Donuts is actually responsible for something like this in the actual animal context? This is all very confusing, and I thought when this was shared with me that it would be intriguing to share it with you and have your thoughts on this as people who probably are watching this are probably vegan. What you think of this type of messaging? Was it actually supposed to be vegan messaging? Are we thinking into it too much? Did they see the process that happens to these animals and actually think that it would be funny to turn them into donuts? I think it would be funny if it wasn't actually happening to sentient beings. It's actually happening to baby animals. So, you know, the humor ended up being lost on me. Now, I can't say I am the most humorous person though. Maybe my humor is shot. But I'm just struggling to see the funny side when we're talking about animals actually being macerated. Literally half of the chickens who are birthed into the egg industry will end up in this situation where they are either macerated or left in bags to suffocate to death. Really weird article. Thought I'd share it with you. Do you see the funny side? Because I'm failing to, because this actually does happen, and this could have been a good opportunity to shed light on the fact that it actually does happen to animals. Or maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the satire. It's like, oh, this does actually happen, by the way. But I don't think it would be clear enough unless you were someone who knew about this industry. A lot of people on the Instagram post that this was posted to were really confused. There were a few vegans who were like, by the way, this actually happens, but people were quite intrigued as to what this meant, like how did it correspond to reality. But yeah, weird. Oh, so weird. Thank you so much for watching. Do hope you're well. And until next time, salads, I will see you soon.